Hello, welcome to Math Expedition 1. In this lesson, we'll be talking about addition and subtraction of integers. Our focus on this lesson is to work comfortably with negative numbers, and that is one thing you want to learn in mathematics. If you struggle with questions like -2 minus 5 or -6 positive 15, by the end of this lesson, you definitely like such questions. So before I explain the integers, let me give you a sketch of the number line. From negative infinity as minus negative infinity, we'll have range of negative numbers, and I wish to start from -3, we'll have -2, we'll have -1, then we'll have 0, then we'll have +1, +2, and +3, and then we have our positive infinity. We have 0 as a neutral number or a neutral value, which simply means you cannot have a positive or negative 0. So 0 is just neutral. While we'll have the range of negative values as the number line goes leftwards or decreasing, while we have the range of positive values increasing towards the right of this number line. This is to say that integers are a collection of the negative values, 0 and positive values. So all these values, the negative, the positive, and the neutral combined, gives us our integers. Now take note of this. The sign of any number is the sign in front of it to the left. Now every number can only have a positive and negative sign, except for 0, which is a neutral number. As you can see, we have -3 here. The sign of 3 is negative because the sign in front of it to the left is negative. While here we will have -8 plus 5, the sign of 8 is negative, while the sign of 5 is positive. This is because the sign of 8 in front of it to the left is negative, while the sign of 5 in front of it to the left is positive. When there is no sign in front of a number, just know that it is a positive number, just like we have 7 here. This is a positive number because there is no sign in front of it to the left. So maybe let's give some more examples to explain. Has the left side, the right side. To the right, there is no sign. To the left, there is a minus sign. And we say the sign of this value is that sign in front of it to the left. But in a situation where we have 5 minus 5 plus 6, we know that to the left of 5, there is a minus sign. To the right, there is a plus. To the right of 6, there is no sign, and to the left, there is a plus. So, the sign of 5 is negative, and the sign of 6 is positive. The sign of 5 is negative, the sign in front of it to the left, and the sign of 6 is positive, the sign in front of it to the left. The sign of 5 is not plus because plus is in front of 5 but to the right, or is behind 5. Maybe that way explains it better. So let's get to the rules. The rule says when the signs are same, we add and keep the sign. So let's say we have values such as -1 plus 5 and -2 minus 2. What is the sign of 1 here? We have a negative. And what is the sign of 5 here? We have a positive. Are the signs the same? No. Because the signs are not the same, this rule cannot apply. What is the sign of 2 here? We have a negative. And what is the sign of 2 here? We also have a negative. Are the signs the same? Yes. Then this rule applies. And what does the rule say? We add both numbers and keep their sign. 2 plus 2 is 4. But remember to keep their sign, which is negative. This might be confusing at first, but let's do some couple of examples and clarify things. For the first one, we have -2, -3. So the first thing you want to know is, are their signs the same? And how do we know that? What is the sign of 2? We have a negative. And what is the sign of 3? We also have a negative. Are their signs the same? Yes. Since they are the same, the rule applies. And the rule says, since they have the same signs, we add them up. 2 plus 3 is 5. But we maintain the sign negative. So this is negative 5 for this. The next one says, negative 4, negative 7. Are the signs the same? Yes. Because the sign here is negative. The sign here is negative. So yes, they have same signs. So what do? We add them up. 4 plus 7 is 11. But remember to add your negative sign. So that is negative 11. The next one says 3 plus 1. So we'll have to review the rule that says when there is no sign in front of a number, we know it's positive. Although we don't need to write this, but you just need to know this. So I'm writing because I want you to remember. But when you're solving, there's no need to write this. So we know that we have a positive 3 and we'll have a positive 1. So positive, positive, are the signs the same? Yes. Because the signs are the same, what do? We add them up. 3 plus 1 is 4. But remember, positive 4. 4, and we just have to keep their signs, which is positive, and there is no need to write a positive, since we know that when you write a number without a sign, it simply means it's a positive value. So lastly, we'll have 2 plus 5. The sign of 5 here is positive, and it's clear to see. The sign of 2 here is also positive. The rule says we add them and keep the sign. 2 plus 5 is 7. We keep the sign positive. We don't need to write that, so we just have 7. Having said that, you've learned the first rule, and that's amazing. So we'll have a task, and I want you to do this task yourself. So what you simply do is pause the video and solve, and after that you can play the video to see me solve it. So let's start from the first one. If you're not done, you can pause the video, but if you're done, then let's do this together. For the first one, we'll have negative 1, negative 3. The sign of 1 here is negative, and the sign of 3 here is negative. Are they same signs? Yes. Because they are same sign, the rule applies. So 1 plus 3 is 4. And since we have negative, just add negative. So what we have here is negative 4. The next question says negative 3, negative 5. Are they same signs? Yes. Same signs, yes. And because of that, we can add. 3 plus 5 is 8. But remember to keep the sign negative. So we have negative 8. Now we have 7 plus 2. What is the sign of 7 here? Remember, is a positive. So positive, and the sign of 2 here is what? Positive. Are they same signs? Yes. Because they have same signs, you can sum them up. 7 plus 2 is 9. And that's positive 9. There's no need to write plus. And that's it. Right here, we have 8 plus 6. What is the sign of 8 here? It's a plus, positive. And what is the sign of 6 here? Plus. So it's a positive. Are they same signs? Yes. So we can add. 8 plus 6 is 14. And that's plus 14, but there is no need to write plus, just 14. Now the reason why I do these annotations is because I want you to understand and see the whole solving process. But when you're solving in your notes or when you're writing, there is no need for that. But when you are solving with a rough book or behind your notes, beautiful, you want to see everything clearly, you can make these annotations. And I tell you, they can be very, very helpful, or they are actually very, very helpful. Now have more examples. So the first one says negative 1, negative 3, negative 5. It looks a little bit more confusing, but we can still do this. And how do we do that? By figuring out the sign of every number to the left. What is the sign of 1 here to the left? We have a negative. Sign of 3 here to the left, negative. Sign of 5 here to the left, negative. Since all these numbers have same signs, what do? We simply simply add them and keep the sign. 1 plus 3 is 4, and 4 plus 5 is 9. But do well to remember to add your negative, so we have a negative 9. The next one we have negative 4, negative 2, negative 5. So since all the signs are negative, what do? We still add or keep the sign. 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 plus 5 is 11. So remember to keep the negative sign. So this is negative 11. Okay, here we had negative 9. So the next one is 2 plus 1 plus 3. So let's see, are all the signs the same? Yes, all the signs are actually the same. Because we have a positive here, we have a positive here, and we also have a positive here. Since all the signs are the same, we'll add. Adding 2 plus 1 is 3, and 3 plus 3 is 6, and it's also a positive 6. But there is no need to write this plus, so we just have 6. So finally we have 5 plus 7 plus 6. Are all the signs the same? Yes, because the sign of 5 here is also plus. So adding everything up, 5 plus 7 is 12 and 12 plus 6 is 18, and that's 18. So we do not need to add or write the positive sign since it's actually a positive value. So having said that, we have come to the end of the first lesson. Do well to like, subscribe and comment, and you can also join us in our math community on WhatsApp if you want to participate in this math expedition. And it's simple, just type below I'm interested, or type below I want to join the math community, and we'll have a whole lot of questions and you could see a whole lot of person to practice with, and we grow together as a community. So thank you so much for joining today and have a nice time.